All is working. Let me just check my settings here. All is working. All is working. All right, perfect. Okay. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It's been a while. Going to get back to doing this daily. Now, I always say that, and then I usually don't do it, but I actually do mean it this time because, well, a lot of reasons. Okay, so welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is 2:21. It's almost 2:22. So we'll say it's 2:22 Saturday, September 3rd, 2022, here on planet Earth. So I want to believe crypto market right now is kind of boring, but it's a great time to take a look at it. It's a holiday weekend. Volume is kind of trailing off. Bitcoin's kind of holding sideways, just barely keeping a grip at that 20K, but not quite right now. Let's take a look at it. It's a boring weekend. It's a better weekend to do holiday stuff and family stuff probably than trading, but we're going to keep an eye on it because you never know. It's times like this that unexpected things happen. So BitcoinDailyView.com, as always, got more for you there. Check it out. Things I like, things I endorse, etc., etc. So check out BitcoinDailyView.com. Got more for you there. Most of the indicators that I speak of here that I use, all the sites that I use for info are there, or at least should be. Let me know if they're not in the comments. Bitcoin trading volume, 3.5 billion right now. That's not much. So Bitcoin trading volume really kind of tanking off for the weekend. It's been like 4 or 5 all last, this week basically, trailing off big time. If you look at the this is the top crypto exchanges. As you can see, all of them have the volume in the red. Most of them are down 50% or 50% plus. So trading volume definitely slacking off. If you look at the 7-day graph, you can see trading volume is just dumping right off. Now, when you get that low volume, that makes for a great time for whales to have their fun. So not financial advice, but myself, I do have a few limit orders in just to catch a wick if we get a flash crash. Just something to think about. It's something I'm doing. And I myself, for me, think it's kind of a good idea because low volume, long weekend, exchange, volume really kind of dumping. Well, boom. That's great. That is whale opportunity right there. The orcas are just surrounding. They're just swimming around. They're circling the baby whale. It's tragic. That sounds awful, doesn't it? But well, that's what happens. That's how it rolls. That's nature. That's the market. That's whales. Now, looking at blockchain whispers for longs versus shorts for Bitcoin. Okay, on Binance, where the volume is 74% long, 25% short. That is definitely a long bias. So whales, in my opinion, a lot of people with some money, or at least enough money to be longing and shorting with leverage, are longing Bitcoin. That's a really extreme bias. That either means it's definitely going to pump, or to be honest with you, I think that 74.6% are kind of suckers because we're really going into a low volume weekend right now. And unless something turns around, longs, as much as I hate to say this, you're probably going to get wrecked. Okay. So for Ethereum, 60% long, 39% short. Yep. ETH, you're going to get wrecked too. I just do not think this is a good time to be longing. Really, for me, I'm not going to do any kind of shorts with leverage right now either. But I did put in a couple, just for Bitcoin specifically, like I say, some limit orders for kind of like those like dream flash crashes that maybe you'll catch. That's kind of how I'm playing this holiday weekend, just to be fully, transparent. Looking at Bitcoin here on the daily chart. Okay, we're going to start this Fibonacci sequence way back here in March of 2020. And you can see this is back when we visited 3K. We've been cranking, doing pretty good. And if you think about it, this pattern here, I think this is a huge amount of time. But if you look at it, this kind of did sort of play out to be a head and shoulders and then fail and, kind of basically do what you would expect. Anyway, so this, like I said, this Fibonacci sequence here has been pretty darn sticky. It's worked pretty well. Okay. So I have a grayed out here. It's the 618 golden pocket. We tried to hold that kind of between like 13th of May, 2022 like 10th of June 2022, could not do it, dumped below, made a perfect wick down here to the 786 Fibonacci sequence level. I can dig that. Been working our way up ever since. This green moving average is a 50 moving average. It was nice when we got above that, but we did not hold it. So we're above the 50. And also the 20 WMA is one I like to use for very, very short, well, obviously short time frame. But the purple one here is the 20 WMA. So we're below basically any moving average to me that really matters. We're well below the 200 moving average, and we're even below the 314 moving average, of course. 200 you're probably familiar with. That's a very common one people look at. And the 50 also. 20 WMA, that's kind of like eclectic stuff right there. But regardless, this is a great indicator here. I should have it linked over at bitcoindailyview.com. If not, I'll get it over there. Volume analysis. It's a very, very good indicator. And basically, it's not showing just buy and sell. What it's always showing is volume as a whole. And so blue is really no volume. Green is some volume. Yellow is increased volume. Red is crazy volume. Okay, basically that's the idea of it. So one thing I do note is that we have been kind of slowly, last for a while, if you kind of look at it, a little bit of optimism, we've kind of been slowly gaining volume. And in the cloud here, as I call it, the little red part, red ribbon is kind of the cloud. It overall shows velocity, direction, volatility, and we're slowly cranking up the volume. I kind of like that. It's a nice thing to see. This is the, of course, down here. This is the MACD. Daily MACD is very powerful. We are negative right now, and the tangent is kind of neutral. So the MACD is below the signal. Histogram is closing towards the positive side. Let's see if this MACD, if the tangent, it's kind of negative. It's almost negative. I'll call it neutral. Let's see which way it goes. If we can get this tangent, to start, making an upward move, that's going to be powerful. It's below the heartbeat, as I call it. That's a good place to make your cross. We definitely could see a move up after that cross. Okay, so let's see how it rolls. We can zoom in a little bit more. As you can see back here on the 17th of June, 20th in the 20th of 18th of June, 19th of June, we kind of saw those wicks down to the 786, but basically we've been moving up since. And one thing you can see, actually, I want to look at that here. I'm going to look at something on the 4-hour chart that'll make more sense. Okay, 4-hour chart. One thing about this indicator, I'm going to give you a little bit of blockchain education insider info here. If you do download this thing, style, where's some of my stuff? Okay, never mind. What I want to show you is this, and I will make sure I link to that over at Bitcoin Daily Video. The Daily View, I'll put it there tomorrow if it's not already up. Very, very good indicator. Very, very powerful. On the 4-hour chart, especially, you can really see institutional buying. I think it's where, allegedly, I think it's where you see it. And also that's something that Jonathan Regan over at Blockchain Education speaks about over at bitcoindailyview.com. And in the show notes, you can definitely see a link to them. I'm a member, been a member for years. Great thing to be a part of if you are a trader and you want to learn a seriously solid methodology for trading, especially crypto, but anything. This is massive institutional volume right here in the 4-hour chart. You can see it. And of course, what happened, we dumped afterwards. And if you look at these little segments of institutional buying, of volume really, you can always see they correspond to a change in direction. Like just look at the red ones, makes it kind of easy. Look at that red one, then we saw it move up. Red one, saw a move up right there. This red one right here, saw a dump. So that's just kind of that. So the trick is to watch for the yellows and the red. Pick your time frame. 4-hour charts are a really good spot to see it, especially like you can see it right here. Look at the reds and the yellows there, and what happened? Boom! They dumped it. So anyway, oftentimes leading up to some kind of a powerful movement, you will see institutional, as I believe it is happening. I think you're seeing institutional volume make the price action do something. So a very good indicator to have. Oftentimes you can start to see this is a rather curious thing here. If we look, you've got this, you can almost see it right here so clearly. And look at that. You've got a little bit of institutional action. You can see a definite movement right there. Institutional action right here. You can see definitely a dump. Institutional action right here. You can see the move up. Institutional action here. You can see the move down. Here's a nice institutional move right there, and you can see an up and a down. Boom, boom. So as you can see, enough money definitely can move the Bitcoin market around if it wants to. And I think that's what we're seeing here in the 4-hour chart. Like especially here when you zoom in on this red, the volume there, what happened? Boom, dump, So get that indicator and watch it. It's very, very, very valuable. Again, here, it's not always a red spike. It can just be these two yellow ones here. What happened? Boom. You had a dump right here. If there was a way I could see, I could have a line. It's two segments of the screen. I don't know how to, anyway, no sense belaboring it. You get the idea. Like here, you can see, boom, yellow, like red. If I go straight up, bam, you can see that's where we pumped. Yeah, like here, boom, straight up, boom. Well, actually, it's over here. Boom, that's where we pumped. A little bit of institutional money going on here, straight up, bam. You can see what happened. Anyway, sorry, it's pretty sloppy. Anyway, so I just wanted to point that out. So looking at the 4-hour chart, if you look at the daily chart, of course, you can kind of see we really are kind of still riding this whole fib area. We've been in for quite a while. Definitely had some beautiful run-ups, dumps, run-up. We're down here to the 786. If you do look, the 786 it's got some traction here. It's had traction in the past. 618 is definitely a valid area right there. It's all about, are we going to go back down and visit the 786, or we're going to get back up in that 618 golden pocket and continue moving up. I'm really going to be kind of bearish right now. I'm not going to be really looking at any kind of longs until I see what I'd like to see is this. I'd like to see on the daily chart, I'd like to see Bitcoin get above the green 50 moving average right here. That definitely be kind of bullish for me. I like to see that. I like to get above the 50 moving average, get back into the 618 golden pocket, maybe go up. Like to me, what would be wonderful is if we kind of got back above the 50, kind of tested that, got in the 618 golden pocket, kind of played around a little bit, pumped it, got back, tested it, started moving up, and we were also like around here, crossed that 200 moving average. So kind of test that 618 golden pocket and the 200 moving average, and then start moving up. And then of course, also if we look at this differently on a daily chart, let's look at, sorry if I'm kind of all over the place. I've not been doing these as regularly as I should, and it shows. So there we go. A daily chart. Let's go to the daily. Bam. Then on a daily chart, looking with some more fancy indicators here, I like to see this is the, and it's over at bitcoindailyview.com. Also, you can see the ADXDI. You can see the squeeze indicator, the SME binary candles, the KRI, stochastic RSI. All those are over there. And so basically, I'd love to see love to see a move up above that 618 golden pocket above that 200 moving average. Start see some stuff like this, like some nice little segment of institutional volume there. See the directional index get back in the green, ADX get above 20, basically about 20, 23, 24, 25, start moving. Watch the squeeze indicator, which is right now negative, start moving towards positive, back into the green. Watch the SME binary candles turn back blue like they were back here. KRI in the green, and the stochastic RSI. This is not a bad spot for it. Be in the middle, just not be maxed out. I'd like to see, we're basically, I'm trying to, that's why it's kind of a boring daily view. Sorry about that. But basically, just not much is happening. Bitcoin's kind of sideways. It's kind of in a weak spot. And really, if you look at the whole global market, everything's a little bit crazy. And to me, it's really hard to read right now. But I mean, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. This is kind of a tip I would give right now here on the 4-hour chart, really. is that for the 4-hour chart especially, see if we can get above the 50 moving average, see if we can get above the 200 moving average. 200 moving average is right now around 22,250 basically. Do note this, that the 314 is crossing above the 200, which is not really that positive. So a lot of downwards momentum. And this is very interesting. You know, really, something I'm noticing is this is kind of powerful. We really do have kind of Bitcoin is being really ranged right now. And if you look, you can kind of see where the, I'm just going to say the institutional money made a move right here on the 4-hour chart, dumped it, as you can see, down to where they wanted it. And you can kind of see here in this little range they've been keeping it. They've been, selling the top, buying the bottom. And you can see these beautiful little spikes of volume, which is where they've basically been controlling it going to the top and the bottom of this range. So if I was to be a little bit, let me just kind of show you here. Like I say, here is their sell, and then I'm gonna move it up a little bit. I didn't quite get this perfectly, and here is their buy. That's what they're doing, and they're controlling it. You can see on the 4-hour chart especially. So if we make this a little bigger, you can really see it. Let me actually get rid of some of these boxes now. Sure. Okay, kill everything. Bam, get rid of it. Boom. So there you can see it. I mean, look at that perfection. Boom, it moved up. Here, boom, it moved down. Here, boom, it moved up. Here, boom, it moved down. Here, boom, it moved up and then down. You can see up and then down. I mean, you can even see it here, like down and then up. So right now we're in this nice little tight range that the whales are keeping it in, and it's a low volume weekend. So I'm just saying myself personally, guys and gals, I am my only play for the weekend, really, unless I see some alts that are doing interesting things, is kind of got some limit orders in down here, all the way down to like 12K. Just in case we get a flash crash wick, it might be a sweet deal to pick it up, or you might buy right as the price action plummets past your limit order. Look at comments here. All right. Anyway, let's go to the 45-minute chart for immediate price action. Okay. One thing with the 45-minute chart that I'm seeing right now, I just wanted to make a point of this, is that you can always see the volume here. The volume, the big volume does. You can see the 44-hour chart's a really sweet spot to work with it. I think in the daily also, 4-hour, for most crypto trader, time frames, is 4 hours very, very sweet spot for looking at the whale volume, I think. But also look here, as you can see, whale volume here on the 45-minute chart. And what do you got? Boom, up, and then boom, down. Corresponds just perfectly. Total match, So right now, as we go into this weekend of low volume so far, Bitcoin has not held the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. It's below it. It's getting close to the bottom of the RSI cave there. The directional index is still in the red, and the thing is, the ADX right now, as you're dumping like this with the price action, even though your ADX here is going up, that's not really a positive thing. Whenever your ADX and your price action are kind of like looking to intersect, never really good. You want to be pumping and have that ADX go up. So with that said, a 45-minute chart, I'm going to put an alert in right here. It might be wishful thinking, but I want to see Bitcoin on the 45-minute chart. Mine looks a little bit funny. I want to see it cross the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. That's going to be definitely, we'll see, especially if it can hold it. Even a hold like this where it kind of went up, and then retraced, like here where it went up and then retraced. On that upward swing, you can make some money and sell when you see it turn around. Just start looking at like a 15-minute chart, playing it real tight, or you might be already in some alts, or find some alts that are going to just rocket when that happens. But really, Bitcoin needs to get up here and break the 200, test it, and then get back above the 314, probably test it, and then keep on cruising. It's in a very, very weak zone right now. This chart does show maybe a tendency. Maybe we're seeing an upswing right now, but I really wouldn't count on it. It is a weak-ass weekend. Looking at an alt here, everyone likes SHIB. I like SHIB. Who doesn't? It's a wonderful little project, complete ecosystem. I like it. I was looking at this fib sequence a while ago, back when I had that huge run up. It held the 382 for a while, could not hold it. It got to the 200 moving average, it bounced, couldn't hold it, went right past the 314, went sideways, had a burst, quickly around like 25th of August, 2022, couldn't hold it. But do note this here, this is kind of positive at the end. If we look at this here, let me actually look at a different chart. Let me pull in all my pretty little indicators. So it has been riding that 200 moving average, trying to do something. You can see some institutional money coming in, some big buys, some big sells there. Directional index is not too positive. ADX is in the wrong spot. Squeeze indicator showing a little bit of upwards momentum. Binary candles are at least green. KRI is in the right spot. Stochastic RSI is beginning to turn up. What I do notice here, these little pink squares, that means that's a 200 moving average break above. And so when you start collecting those, that's kind of a positive thing. So we could possibly be seeing a breakout happening or trying to happen. The 314 and the 200 are kind of far from one another. It'd be nice if they were a little bit tighter, but they're just not. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one and see if maybe SHIB does a little bit of a run just for fun, since we're here. It's like a Doge, USDT. So that weird noise in the background is my Chihuahua coughing. She's fine. She's fine. When they get old, they have if you can hear that their trachea gets like kind of weak, and they hack like that once in a while. But don't worry, it sounds terrible, but she's not dying or anything. She's fine. Doge, it's trying to keep. It's looks a little bit like SHIB in general. This chart's all right, but let's look at a 4-hour. Let's look at a 4-hour Doge. Had a nice run, a nice burst above, couldn't hold 314. Yeah, it's the 200, not looking too good. 4-hour chart's pretty weak. Yeah, I've been trying to find some alts that are a little bit more fun to look at. Let me actually check out a chart that I forgot to look at, a page here. Where is it? 24-hour price movement. Here we go. Let's look at this. Bring it to the end here. Anybody in the green today? Oh, Cardano. Cardano's in the green. Okay, let's look at real quick. Hope this isn't too long. I just want to kind of hop on and talk crap for a little bit. Look at some charts. Cardano, ADA. It's a 4-hour chart. It's starting to get some velocity upwards. It might even cross the 200 moving average. It's got green Madrid ribbons here, green Super Cup indicator ribbons. Just look for Madrid. You'll find it over Bitcoin Daily View that this indicator's there. These ribbons, the EMA ribbons. This chart's perking up. 4-hour chart does not look too bad. I'd wait for a break above that 200 moving average and support above it myself. Looking at 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes, not bad. Bunch of Blue Diamond Merit badges, bunch of 200 moving average crosses there. Came back, it cranked a bit, tested the 200 moving average once again. Now it's pushing top of the RSI cave. In general, the chart is not that bad. Maybe we'll see some action from ADA. It's got a little bit of energons going on. Filecoin, let's look at that real quick. Filecoin. Okay. You see these, that's why I mentioned over here when I was looking at SHIB, these blue diamonds, I mean blue squares, the 200 moving average crosses. When they start to kind of like bunch like that, it can be a good thing. Of course, sometimes it doesn't happen. Like here, it didn't happen. But the more you collect, usually the more velocity is working on getting up, making an upwards move, as you can see here. So I think it's a 45-minute chart. Let's look at the 4-hour chart also. Yeah, 4-hour chart You can see the institutional volume came in, pushed it like crazy. 4-hour chart for Filecoin is still well below the 200 moving average. So this is, I like this Bart Simpson pattern it had here. Maybe it's going to do that again. Watch for 200 break on the 4-hour chart. In general, this chart's looking pretty good. 45-minute chart. It's above the 200 moving average. It's kind of a good chart. I like what I'm seeing. Filecoin kind of plateauing. It bounced at the top of the RSI cave. Now it's sideways. Let's see what happens. It might continue upwards. Let's see what else we got here. DeFi chain. Not even sure what that is. DeFi. I know what DeFi is, but not DeFi chain. Zcash. Okay. Oh, actually, no. Let's look at Axie Infinity. AXS. Axie Infinity is a 45-minute chart. Let's look at a 4-hour chart just to get a little view of that. Yeah, look at that. Sweet. Look at that institutional money coming in the 4-hour. Big money. It's not above the 200 moving average. Not many alts are really on the 4-hour chart, but beautiful volume, cranking up, hitting the top of the RSI caves, cooling off. This is a strong looking chart, but still, I wouldn't really call this. I really wouldn't want to get in until you see a burst above a bump above the 200 moving average and support there. Also, don't like seeing the 314 possibly crossing above the 200. That's not really positive energy right there. Looking at the 45-minute chart, you can definitely see Blue Diamond Merit Badge broke the 200 moving average, came back and tested it, collected some pink squares, and now it's moving above and looking really good. It's pushing the top of that RSI cave pretty hard. You can see that institutional money came in, moved it. DI is in the right spot, ADX is in the right spot, squeeze indicators in the right spot, binary candles in the right spot, KRI is looking good. Stochastic RSI is showing a cool down. Maybe we're going to see a turn up. Look a little bit closer there. Wait for that tangent to turn up there, and I think you're going to see something positive. AXS, Axie Infinity, might be getting ready to do something beautiful. Let's just take a look here. This one excites me more than any other that we've looked at so far. Let's look at a daily chart with all the indicators on and see if I can melt the CPU in this thing, the GPU in this thing. Wow, look at that. Really nice. Looking at a daily chart, as you can see, we took off with Axie back on July 1st of 2021. Friggin' cranked and then gave it all back. You can kind of see where you can play these longer time frames if you want to. So if you had a 200 moving average cross here on a daily and you just sat in it until the Madrid ribbons turned red, let's say you sold around here, that could have, lazy trade and just trade those larger time frames. And let's say you could have made, let's be somewhat conservative here, you could have made maybe 100% in 106% in 153 days. That takes a while, That's a bit of a long trade, but still, you can play longer time frames in crypto also. Anyways, so with that said, that's really about it. Anything else look interesting to look at? Let's look at Zcash. I think Axie might be really one to actually check out. I like what I'm seeing here. Zcash, USDT. That's not right. Where's it at? Zcash. Zach. I'm sorry. I'm being an idiot. Zach. USDT. Hey all. Anything you want charted? In the chat. No. Anything you want charted? Let me know. I will chart it. Do my best. Let's look at Zach here on a 45-minute chart. Yeah, as you can see, I like this. Some good stuff going on here. Like this upwards momentum, pushing top of the RSI cave. Break above the 200 moving average. It's trying to find, book the 200 moving average. It's trying to break the 314. It's kind of retesting it. Directional X is in the right spot. 8X is in the right spot. Screws indicators in the right spot. Binary candles, stochastic, binary candles, KRI, stochastic RSI shows it's cooling off a little bit before possibly it moves back up. You can definitely see some here on the 45-minute chart. Some big volume came in, pushed it. Let's look at a 4-hour chart, see if we can identify a little bit of the whale volume. Look at that. Okay, whale's been bumping this thing around a bit, making things happen. I like that. Wow, it's funny. If you look here on the 4-hour chart, you can definitely kind of just correspond the big moves quite often to when the big volume came in, like here, like here. A lot of volume there, and then that's when it began to kind of die. Here, volume, killed it. And that's when you see yellow and red, that's usually, green's fine. Yellow and red is where you see in the institutional money, usually, in my opinion, allegedly. Okay, so 4-hour chart looking good. I think it's good above the 200 moving average before I really want to touch this one. Looking at the 45-minute chart, like I say, I kind of like what I'm seeing. I'm going to wait for support above that 314 and a move up. It needs to kind of, to me, it needs to kind of cruise along a little bit, sort of sideways or slightly up or something like that, while the RSI cape gives it a little bit of room to continue moving up. Indicators in general, not looking too bad, but it is a low volume weekend. Be careful in your trading. These are dangerous times. Myself, like I say, I'm just playing some kind of dream limit orders on Bitcoin in case we get a flash crash with this low volume that we're seeing moving into a holiday weekend. With that said, everybody, my PSA for the day is don't swallow the mass media. And remember, this is poison. And remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a WEF globalist cries. So take care. Good is winning in this world. I'm glad you're part of the peaceful revolution. Every Bitcoin Satoshi you own actually truly makes a difference in this world. So keep after it.